Hey guys, Trigger Happy John coming at you with another Awaken Chaos Era video. Today's video is going to be a fact-finding mission where we discover if it's actually faster to play this game on methods such as LD Player, BlueStacks, or on your cell phone. Is there a speed difference? Is there a way to get faster runs without actually having to do anything extra in the game? So let's stick around and find out. All right, so I do want to start off just real quick before we get going here that if you guys would not mind, I would love it if you guys did download LD Player via the link that is listed down below in the description, as well as it will be in the comments. It does help me out quite a lot. I'm actually working with LD Player right now because I would like to be able to try to do some giveaways, and I almost right at like the quota to be considered for getting certain type of partner like bonus giveaway stuff. So definitely hit that download link. It helps me out tremendously. It costs you guys nothing. I get a kickback from it, and hopefully I can get more shards to give away for you guys as an additional kickback. Now, a lot of people have asked a lot of questions about speed farming. One, there's questions of, okay, what comps can I build that go super fast, and what comps, take a little bit of time? What avenues do I have that can really change the name of the game? Well, let's go ahead and start off with like the basics. All right, so if you have a set comp, for example, we're gonna use my dragon team here as a base. This particular comp for the dragon is very fixed. It's an exact turn order. It works every single time without fail. You know the exact time that's going to get taken to complete this comp, right? We are currently using LD Player for this because, well, honestly, BlueStacks customer support was really bad, so I'm done with them. So we're using LD Player, and they give us the same option. So if we go over here and we hit settings, you can actually see that under system, you have image quality low, high, ultra, or ultra 60 frames per second. Now, I know on a phone, a lot of people aren't playing with ultra because it eats a lot of battery and your device gets a little warm, so they're playing on low. Well, what does that actually cost you as terms of like speed goes into it? So I did some testing. You guys are definitely gonna be very interested in the results. So I did a test where on my PC, granted, yes, I have a very good PC. I have a PC that has a 3080 Ti graphics card, an i9-10950K processor. I also have 32 gigs of RAM. So it's very good PC, but there should be a natural difference between PC and cell phone, you would think. So I ran this in ultra on my PC. I ran it in ultra on my cell phone, captured it, recorded it. We're gonna see in just a second, you're gonna literally see a play-by-play of 4 different runs that are gonna have with 60 frames per second on the cell phone, on the PC, and then also the same exact thing, but with eco mode, because eco mode is another setting that we have that not all of us really understand what it does, other than it does dim the screen a little bit, which I'm assuming is to save a little bit of power. I thought it would skip animations as well to help speed us up. I don't know if that's the case. So you definitely want to watch this next little segment here that I'm going to play, and I'll kind of talk over it and explain to you a little bit of what you are seeing. All right, so as you see here, we do have all 4 of them displayed. Like I said, this is going to be the mobile and the PC version, both with eco mode at max 60 frames per second, as well as both mobile and PC. Now this is going to be also at the max 60 frames per second, but without the eco mode. Now, just looking at this clip, I did my best to kind of line them up. They're going to be just a little bit off in general, but what I want you to notice is they're almost simultaneously hitting the same frames, so to speak. I was really surprised at this. I figured that being that there's two totally different processors, 2 totally different everything, that the speed at which my cell phone would play the game and the speed at which my high-end computer would play the game would be 2 totally different speeds. But if you're noticing, the turns are kind of lining up almost identical, and we're not seeing a whole lot of difference here. It's very interesting at the very end. You'll see exactly what the time difference is between them. There is a slight difference, but can you guess down at the bottom which one's which? Do you know which one is the mobile and which one is the PC? They're both left and right on the same. So take a wild guess as to which ones that you think it is, and I'll come back and I'll tell you exactly which one it is. And there we go. They're all complete. Notice the time. All right. So as you guys can see here, I do have the split pulled up so that we can see exactly which time is which. Now, did you guess on which one was which? Do you know which one was the mobile and which one was the PC? There's two different ones for each one. So what did you guess? All right, time's up. The top two are actually the top two that are mobile. Now, the mobile version is on my cell phone. I do have a brand new S22 Ultra, so I know it's a newer phone with a newer processor, but I still expected to see a little bit of a difference in times when farming versus if this was on the PC. I would highly... What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for here, but I would have imagined that on PC we would have seen a significant boost just because the amount of processing speed, the amount of resources available to play the game would be better. But it does look like Awaken has done a great job of limiting this. I know when I played Raid Shadow Legends, this was definitely a thing. I would have to farm on mobile because their player and play client was so much faster than anything we could get on mobile. And even just playing on LD player versus mobile was faster for Raid. So in comparison, I am glad to see that, you know, they did a good job. Everything's apples to apples. Not a big deal. I also, just for funsies, I did run a test to show you what 30 frames per second and light do as well. So at this point, I'll go ahead and I'll crop these in here. We'll run it again and we'll see what the time difference is. One thing I want you to know is if you will notice that almost every single one of these, other than the upper right, which is actually the one running without the eco mode, that one was a minute 23 on the run, and the rest are all at a minute 24. So absolutely no difference. So keep that in mind when we see what it is at 30 frames per second. All right, so as you guys are watching now, I do have it currently set on the bottom one at 30 frames per second on the PC, and also low on the PC for the top. Now, these are two totally different settings, and the reason why I did this is because we saw there was literally no difference between the Ultra 60 on both the cell phone and on the LD player. So I figured, you know what, it's okay to go ahead and probably do these tests on the PC. There's no sense in me doing a screen record and or capture on my phone when they were apples to apples to begin with. So we already had kind of a control. Now, I did do a little bit closer job of actually lining these clips up, so it's almost perfectly in sync here, and you should be noticing that once again we're getting some common trends here. I really think that these whole frames per second things, I'm not believing that these are going to save you any phone battery. I'm not saying anything really different. Let me know down in the comments below if you are seeing anything that is clearly significant as far as difference in power consumption or anything like that if you're on your mobile phone. Because I would be curious, because time-wise, these aren't really faster. I would expect that if we were really truly saving resources on our cell phones, that we would see a noticeably different amount of graphics and probably speed frames per second. It does not look like that is the case, though. Let's stick around and see what the total time is. All right, so there you have it. This is the test with low on the PC and 30 frames per second. Now notice that the time difference here is literally none. So if you guys are curious, doesn't matter which one you're on. There is a little bit of a jump between Ultra and Ultra 30 and Ultra 60. It's about 10 seconds. And they pretty much correspond to the image low and the image high. The only difference I could possibly think is maybe the picture quality just isn't as good, but I honestly did not notice a massive difference. Take a look at that other 4-frame one. We'll see if there's a massive difference in between there, but I don't think there really is. I think it's more of giving us an option, but it may be like a facade. You know what I mean? But either way, it is interesting. So for those of you who were curious if it's okay to run at lower settings or higher settings, if you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of time on your runs, then that's not terrible. Because I mean, you're talking it's a 10-second difference here before one run, exponentially as you get higher. So maybe 20-30 seconds total if you're talking like your Queen of Tides run for like 5 or 6 minutes. That can add up a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're on your cell phone and this does somehow save you some energy, then it may be worth it to go ahead and run it at the lower settings. Let me know down in the comments below though. Do the same test. Let me know, what did you get? I am currently using a Samsung S22 Ultra. Like I said, and my PC is a very good PC. Let me know. Maybe if you have lower specs on your PC or lower specs on your phone, maybe that gives you slightly different results. I would be very, very interested to see what you guys come up with as your results, and let me know down in the comments below also if this video interested you. I thought personally it was a little interesting, so I definitely wanted to do a video and cover it and let you guys know what the best way to play the game is. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Peace.